So I'll say right up front that there's huge spoilers in this video for the most recent episode of Supernatural, of this episode here. And I'm saying this episode here because I watched a clip of it. I decided several years ago to stop watching Supernatural. But, I've sort of I know generally what's happening. I still like the actors. I still follow them. I get bits and pieces. And for tonight's episode, lots to talk about tonight's episode because something supposedly quite grand happened in this episode. So I said, oh, that's interesting. I saw some gifs and images of that part of the conversation, and I was like, suspicious, but let me watch it. So I watched a clip of that scene. I'm sorry. I want to be excited for you. I want to be excited with you, but I'm not, because that is not canon. I'm sorry, it's not. It's exactly where they were before. And I get that there is a difference between, well, we know how they feel for each other, but now it's said out loud with words. I agree that is a difference. It is not canon. So let's get into specifics. Okay, so Cass has this speech, and he says to Dean basically what we all knew that he felt about Dean this entire time, that we all knew to be true about Dean, which is why we all love Dean, and it's it was beautiful. And Cass says to Dean, with everything in his heart and with tears in his eyes, I love you. And it the music and the feeling, and just it feels like you're about to get a Destiel Canon, no qualms or questions about it moment, but then it stops. No, I love you too. No kiss. Not even a hug. There's sort of the arm thing, which, yes, is significant for them, but is not canon. I'm sorry, it's not. And so why am I talking about this? Why does it make me so mad? Because, and then, this is Supernatural, and then Cass dies. And yes, Dean is sad, but it's not canon romantic Destiel relationship. I'm sorry. It's not. And like I said, I wish that it was. I want to be excited for all of the Destiel fans out there, because I was 100% one of you. And when I stopped watching the show, I said, if they ever did make Destiel canon, I would start watching again. They never did. And so I haven't. And so the only full episode I've watched since I stopped watching it in season 10 was the car episode, was Baby, but that's not the point here. Okay. The point is, I was like, nope, not doing this anymore. If I had stuck around these past 5 years waiting, hoping that Destiel would fully officially happen, and this is what I got? No, absolutely not. I am disappointed but not surprised. This is exactly the kind of shit that they do, and exactly the kind of reason that I stopped watching the show. Because it's so clear. It's so clear that of course Cass feels that way. But he says that right before he then dies. Kill your gaze is why I stopped watching. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm mad, like, on behalf of the people who kept watching and kept hoping. And even, like, for the people who see it and, like, are like, oh my god, Destiel is canon now. And they are so happy and so excited and they feel so vindicated of, like, yes, we waited, 12 years in Azkaban for this. And it's just deserved so much better. Deserved so much more. Like, we have actual queer relationships on shows now. I get that when Supernatural started 15, 16 years ago, that was not common. That was maybe not at all. But now it's pretty common. And yet they could not get their shit together. They couldn't have Dean say it back. They couldn't even have even if you're going to be like, Dean loves him but is not in love with him, they couldn't even have that conversation. They couldn't even keep Cass around long enough to have that conversation. And that makes me mad. It sucks. And the fans deserved better. The story deserved better. The characters deserved better. This relationship is just like the most obvious fucking thing in the entire world, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. They chose not to. Story creators make choices. They chose not to do this. It was like, it was the barest thing, like the smallest thing, the seed that they threw that was like, this will be good. This we can throw at them, and then we can say that it wasn't entirely queerbaiting for 12 years. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. This was nothing. And that sucks. So now back to election anxiety.